So I'll show you guys how we make our cable tie-offs. This is what we use mostly, especially on the cat line. So this one's already pre-cut. It's 11 feet long of just the cable. And then first on one end, we'll take a double furl, about 6 inches loop, crimp it down or hammer it down. On the other end, you'll use both a double and then a single. Put it through the double, leave that loose, have the one end that goes through, put a single furl on that one, and hammer it down or crimp it down. So one side's adjustable, one side's in there fast. So you'll need about 6 inches on that side, 6 inches on this side. So then now you have a 10-foot cable that you're ready to anchor some traps with.
All right, and I'm going to show you guys how we make our cable stakes. We have to use heavy duty ones, and we can't use these in a lot of places. We trap in very rocky areas, and that's why we use the cable tie-offs for most things. But I'll show you how we make these Berkshire stakes. Most of you probably already know how to make it. So, you know, just a loop on one end, and you can J-hook that or quick link it to your trap. We just J-hook. Double on this side, and these are pretty easy to make. So ours are about 16 inches long. Some people like them longer, some people like them shorter. 16 inches just happens to be when we cut 22 inches of cable. That's what we end up with.
Okay, you're good. All right, this is the first side, just the double. Go in one side, then back through. Now I don't like to have it come through this back side, because this end, after a couple catches, will start fraying and you'll start getting poked and everything. So I get it just barely on the inside, a nice loop, not too small, not too big, so it's easy to use, but you're not wasting your cable. And then you'll hammer it in place. So that's good and solid. Go to the other side. Need a double and a single. Put through the double just like last time. At this time, you'll then put that all the way through and put that loose end on a single. It's fraying a little bit, but we'll get it to work. That on there, hammer just that single one, and you'll leave the double alone on this one, so you have it adjustable, and I'll show you how that works.
Ready?
All right, guys, I'm going to show you how the cable stakes work. This is the one I just made over there. So pretend this is like whatever you want to tie off to, a bush, a tree, whatever. Just go around it, simple as that. Pull it back through, take the adjustable side and put it through the solid side. Pull that tight. Then you take your adjustable side to your trap go through the last swivel. And then use that adjustable, go and then pull your trap through that. Pull that tight. Now your trap's on there, secured hard to whatever you tied off to, and you're locked on. We've used these, we've cut mount lines on these, coyotes on these, fox, tons of stuff. Some people say that hammering those furrows will really take the strength out of the cable, but that's a lost cause.
Over how we make our cable stakes. A lot of you guys already know how to make these, so this is probably repetitive, but cable, or you need your cable stake, your cable. I have 22 inches of cable here. The time I make my loops, it's exactly 16 inches. Then you need 2 double furrows. On this one, I'm going to use a swagger, whatever you want to call it, to crimp these down. But like Wyatt said, a hammer works great. With those cables we catch mount lines on them, and we've never had one fail. So anyways, you just make sure you first put in your double, and then go through the loop inside your cable stake. Doesn't really matter which ones you use. I know guys who use Pogos and the duck bills. I just like the Berkshires because it's easy to make the drivers. You don't want your loop too tight. If you make it too tight, you don't get much movement in this. So you want to make a loop to where your thing can move. It's too small still. I got my swagger, so I'm going to put it on the 8th. And I do my top crimp first. And then I do my lower crimp. Just like our cable tie-offs, I don't like cable sticking out. It's just a preference. I don't like digging these into my hands. I might have sissy hands, but I just don't like digging cable into it. Then you just make your basic loop with the double on this. You don't need it too tight, but want to get the most length out of it as you can. And then once again, put it back in the swagger. I crimp the top, and then I crimp the bottom. Swagger really, it's easy to use it on this. When you get on those singles, these single furls, it's tough. That's why we like to just hammer the cables. Plus the cables we're making a lot. We're only making like a dozen of these. So anyways, that's how we make our cable stakes.